Streaming is. Hi, good morning. This is the third lesson for the day and final lesson. This is science. Glad to see you. If anyone here is here for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are working through this unit about the human impact on the world. And today we're looking at um, forecasts of the current global or climate change and its associated future impacts on the earth. So, this is a real thing. It has been verified by science. It is life changing, life altering in terms of where people can live, how they can get food, how they will have energy, um, so many things. So, let's take a look today at um, global warming, how the scientists have begun to prepare uh, and forecast these impacts and thusly prepare for them. So, oopsie boop. So here we have first our description of this particular skill set that you can analyze geoscience data, the information and results from global climate models to make a forecast of the current rate of global or regional climate change and associated future impacts. What does that mean, Melody? Simply that you will be able to recognize. Okay, so you're going to probably, we're talking about science, see charts and graphs, things like that, scientific models. Just understand how they've come to make predictions, and you'll see that. I attached a 9-minute video, um, and it says here, please watch it before or after class for deeper understanding. This is a high impact section on the task test. Yes, they're going to talk about global warming a lot. You're going to see it. So if you have not done so, please watch this video. It is in your best interest that you can get this information. Okay, and so let's look at this continued impact of global warming. And we have someone with a dog sled, what looks like a very cold area. This land is part of me. The future kind of scares me just thinking about how we're going to survive, says 18-year-old Harley Potter, an Inuit Indian living in the autonomous area of the Nona Nunatsiavut in Newfoundland, Canada. Native people in the Arctic see changes much more than people in lower altitudes, and more warming is occurring in the polar regions. So, how will climate change in the future? The Earth's temperature will keep rising unless greenhouse gas emissions are curbed. The temperature in 2100 may be as much as 5 degrees higher than it was in 2000. Is 5 degrees a lot? It doesn't seem like it when we're talking about a weather pattern, but it's much more than the increase in temperature from the times of the maximum ice during the Pleistocene to now. Since the end of the Pleistocene, the temperature has only risen about 4 degrees. And that's just 4 degrees from abundant ice to the moderate climate we have today. So, how might a 5-degree increase in temperature affect the Earth in the future? Warming will affect the entire globe by the end of this century. The map below shows how much temperatures will change in different regions. Wow. Based on the coupled climate 2.1 model. In what places the temperature increase the greatest? Okay, so and where in the United States is the temperature increase the greatest? So let's take a look at our map, and it's from NOAA, the Organization of Atmosphere. I can't remember the last letter. So this is a climate model. They are measuring surface air temperature change. Remember, we're always going to read the titles and read what's on there. And you see the coolest air from negative temperatures to the hottest air. The coolest air is in blue, then to white, orange to red, the warmest. And then it also says at the very bottom that the Arctic will experience the greatest temperature changes. Look at the Arctic, how red it is there. So, my goodness, we're talking about 7, 8, 9. Good Lord, 7, 8. Yeah, up to 10 degrees in temperature change. And so, if we look in the United States, where's the greatest temperature change? Looks like in the middle of the country, right? That's darker orange than the rest of it, which is yellow, which may see um, maybe 2 to 3, 3.6, 4, 2 to 4 degrees in temperature increase. And that is from reading the graph. You will always have to interpret graphs and charts. So, what's going to happen? As the temperature rises, the sea ice will melt. And this figure below shows how much sea ice there may be in 2050 if temperatures keep going up in this figure below. This would cause the sea level to rise even higher. Some coastal cities may be underwater. Millions of people would have to move inland. So let's take a look here. Sea ice thickness here. If you notice and look at our colder temperatures, you've got, okay, it's a thicker volume. From the 1950s, look at this, much thicker, cooler, and there's hardly any left on the North Pole. Okay, so weather will become more extreme. Heat waves and droughts will become more frequent and more intense. The Midwestern United States will become hot and dry. This will make growing food more difficult. And crops will change. Croplands worldwide will be affected. Hurricanes will become more severe. We are now seeing some of the most intense hurricanes we've ever seen in history. Plants and animals will move or die out. Some will thrive in a warmer world, but most will not. The biosphere may become quite different. These are only a few of the impacts that warmer temperatures will have. The vast majority of scientists agree that this is what's happening. So, in summary, global temperatures will increase. Some locations like the Arctic and the Amazon will experience a greater increase. Sea levels will rise, and some coastal cities may be submerged underwater. Weather will become more extreme. Crops and some plants and animals may be not able to survive the warmer temperatures. Okay. And let's look at the review. Pretend that the temperature today is 5 degrees warmer than yesterday. Now consider an increase of 5 degrees in average global temperature. How are these two scenarios different? So if we are talking about a regional difference in weather, 5 degrees warmer today, say it's going to be, yesterday the high was 70, and today it's going to be 75. How is that different from increasing the global temperature all over the world of 5 degrees? So when we're talking about the weather, is the weather the same every day? So if it's 5 degrees warmer today and then it goes down tomorrow and it's 5 degrees cooler, is that going to have a huge impact on crops, on climate, on any of those things, on life forms? Now compare what we just learned about global increases in temperature, which is over a period of time, change in climate, right? That can have a greater impact on the biosphere, all life. So why is the rise in sea level significant? What is that? Why is that important? Again, I think I mentioned this the other day, that There was a Category 5 hurricane coming up the coast on the East Coast, and they were hoping that it didn't hit near Newark, New Jersey, because Newark would be underwater, because people that could not afford to evacuate, people didn't have cars, people didn't have money for hotels or places to go. That would be devastating. And what will plants and animals do as temperatures rise? We talked about the ability of some plants to change and most what cannot. So if they don't survive, then they're gone forever. And that changes the whole balance, right? What do other animals eat? Um, what what do we eat if we lose certain crops, food crops? These are things to look at. So if you want to look more, this is a video showing the impacts of climate change with 1 to 6 degrees. These are part of the coral reef, and they're dying out. And they are home to many other plants and types of life undersea. So if the coral reefs die, then you see plants related, right? Or animals related that live with that system. Their lives are in danger. So, what are the effects to 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees? Even if the earth warms by one degree, be able to talk about that. So there's a quiz here which you can take if you choose to confirm your understanding. Where we may have enough, you may see this again on Wednesday. So be prepared. And that is not Wednesday. I guess it would have to be next week, right? So that's all we have for today. Everyone be well and take care.